me.
Do you share Dr. Fauci's concerns tonight?
Yes, I do. I'm very worried. I understand the protesters. In fact, I agree with many of the protesters that this was a horrible event in American history and a sort of chain of events that have led to this outpouring of support and passion on this topic. But we also know that distance is probably the most important thing that we can do to prevent people from catching COVID. And at this kind of critical time where we're starting to see coming out of this pandemic, having so many people close together is nothing short of an unplanned experiment. I just don't know how it will turn out.
You know, there was some news this evening that Minnesota is now going to test all deployed National Guardsmen and women, that one has already tested positive and that 9 now have symptoms. This is the very worry that you're talking about here as a result of some of these protests. How concerned are you that we're going to be talking about a second wave that otherwise might not have existed?
I've always said that a second wave of infections is entirely down to us. It's up to us to behave in ways that will accommodate the virus as we go back to our regular lives by wearing masks, keeping distance, and cleaning our hands, being careful. And this protest behavior, while really important to show our rights, certainly doesn't provide the distance that we need in order for us to protect ourselves. And I just don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure that some of these protests were a very risky endeavor and many people will get sick. The best hope we have for not having additional spread and not starting a second wave is if people who protested this weekend stay home for 14 days. Just like you'd had some sort of other exposure or risk, just quarantine yourself for 14 days. It's hard since many places are starting to open up, but that would be the best thing for everyone.
At the same time, cases where you are in Illinois are down. Is it fair to say that the reopen thus far has gone better than feared?
Yeah, I do think that the reopening has, well, in Illinois, it was planned to go this way. It was meant to happen as the cases were starting to have a sort of steady and regular decline. And that's exactly what we want to see. It takes a while for any reopening to start showing in the numbers, probably 2, 3, 4 incubation periods, and that's 2, 4, 6 weeks. So I think we have to sit tight before we decide that we are completely done with this. And I do think that these protests could be pretty dangerous for some people.